Hello, everybody. It's the husband, and today I want to talk about a movie. Okay, it is kind of an episode, but from a television series, but it's a movie. Okay, so it is called Cigarette Burns from Masters of Horror television series, and I watched it. You know that I recommend horror, and this counts as horror, but for me, it is more like a mystery thriller with horror vibes, tiny little bit. A dark mystery thriller more than pure horror. There will be like one scene where you will be like, whoa. But after that, it's a mysterious detective like, without detectives, but the principle. So, mysterious thriller. And where to watch, I will leave a riddle in my comments. I cannot tell like exactly, I have to leave a riddle, but you will understand the website name, just like always. So, what the movie is about? It has, by the way, casting has Norman Reedus, the guy from The Walking Dead with the crossbow. So, I enjoyed the actor. I think he's famous for a reason. Very good acting, and he's the main character of the movie. So, the whole point of this movie is that Norman Reedus, the main character, is an expert at cinema stuff. He has a theater and he works for people. He gets hired to do to find movies that are hard to find. So in the start of the movie, he comes to a criminal boss house. Like I would say mafia, but it's only he and his guard, so not that much of a mafia, just a criminal boss. So that criminal boss asks Norman, hey, there's this horror movie that is bad and very infamous. And could you find it for me? I will pay you a lot. And he is even keeping one of the actors of the movie as captive in his house. Like, so much criminal. Like, whoa, I'm a criminal boss. So Norman Reedus looks at it like, this is some dirty stuff. If you want me to find a movie, you're gonna have to pay. So the criminal boss offers $100,000. And Norman looks at that guy that he's holding captive. You know what? I need $200,000. So the criminal boss sighs, like freaking, my purse is gonna go empty. But still, promises to pay Norman $200,000 for him to find the infamous banned movie for the criminal boss. So it all begins. Now, Norman, our main character, Norman Reedus, is kind of in a bad situation in his life. So, he had a girlfriend, and they both were drug addicts. So, the girlfriend died, and her death haunts Norman Reedus because he has guilt over it. Like, he could have done something. And one more thing that haunts Norman is that he has a teacher that he isn't maintaining with a little colleague that he supervises. And his girlfriend that died has a father, and that father lended Norman $200,000 for the teacher to work while the girlfriend of Norman was still alive. So the father arrived at Norman's theater after the Norman left the criminal boss and told him like, you're getting me the money back, or my pistol, like he has a pistol, or I will tear this freaking place apart. Give my money back in 1 week. You have 1 week. And Norman was like, I will get you your money back. Just get out of my life. I will get it back. So that is the reason why Norman asked for 200,000 from the criminal boss, because he know that he is in debt for his deceased girlfriend's father that really wants to kill Norman. So they leave. And Norman begins the investigation about the banned infamous horror movie, trying to find a leftover copy for the criminal boss because The movie is infamous. So, during the investigation, Norman reads the archive, listens to audio clips, to interviews, and something begins happening with his head. He starts seeing hallucinations. A cigarette burn circle when you burn with a cigarette, he starts seeing them sometimes in his eyes, and after that he sees his deceased girlfriend. Like he's having nightmares, you could say lucid dreaming, since he started investigating the movie, so this is connected. But he continues anyway because he needs the money. So he tries getting into contact with names that are connected to the movie makers and the cast. He makes a journal, and like 90% of the movie cast, the actors, the technical workers, are all dead. They all died. And most of them died during the premiere of the banned horror movie that he is trying to find. So it's like the movie is a creation so disturbing and something mysterious about it that somehow during the movie premiere, a whole theater died. So something about the movie that if you see it, like you die. So it's crazy, mysterious stuff that Norman does not believe yet. But it is written, it is in audio clips, it is kind of hidden information because the movie disappeared from theaters immediately after that infamous incident. And Norman meets the first person, an archive guy. He's asking him for information about the movie. The archive guy warns Norman not to look for the movie, but eventually agrees that, if you're looking for it, then let me see it too. So he gives him context. Norman goes to a different guy. The different guy does not want to give Norman any information about the movie because that guy is one of the victims of the movie premiere. Showed Norman his hand. Look, when I watched this movie, my hand got burned together. But I looked away, so I was still alive. I survived it. Norman did not really believe his story, but kind of persuaded him to give more context, telephone numbers of different people, because Norman still wants to find a copy of the movie despite all the warnings of the victims, all the dead ones. He's still going for it. So eventually, he reached the movie maker's wife apartment. And the wife revealed to him that he is the first guy to make it this far in search for this movie. So he deserved to really get the copy. So the wife gave Norman the copy of the horror movie, and Norman did not see it himself. He just wanted to get it to the criminal boss and just get back the loan money to the deceased girlfriend's father to just get him the freak out of his life. So Norman went to the criminal boss, gave him the movie copy, went back to the theater. The theater was closed, so the girlfriend's that was deceased father closed the theater anyway, even 1 week did not pass yet. And Norman is just freaking swearing. But in that time, he got a call from the criminal boss that was given the movie and watched it, that the criminal boss needs Norman's help. So Norman went to the criminal boss' house. Like you understand. Just a small recap. Norman, when he got the movie copy, he went to the criminal boss, gave the criminal boss the copy, and went to the theater. At the theater, Norman received the call from the criminal boss that he needs help. Because the criminal boss watched the movie, so something bad happened. So, Norman is now at the criminal boss' apartment with the deceased girlfriend's father secretly following Norman. And in the theater, the criminal boss guard is all cut and bloodied. The criminal boss himself became a psychopath after watching the movie and did some serious gory stuff that you should watch the movie to see, because I cannot really say it. And just basically, Norman was followed by the deceased girlfriend's father, and they confronted each other. And by mistake, both got a glimpse at the cigarette burns movie that the criminal boss watched himself. So everybody went crazy. Everybody who watches the cigarette burns copy that they found started hallucinating their deceased like girlfriend, daughter, and just killed themselves. That's how the movie ended. So let's repeat it. Since the movie got premiered, everybody who watched the movie died. And now that Norman gave the criminal boss the movie copy again, everybody who watched the movie died again. So basically, long story short, this movie is infamous for a reason, and it was not supposed to be found. And if you find it, you pay the price. You die too, so. An interesting, mysterious thriller. My recap does not really give it the praise it deserves. It does not have that much horror, but the dark mystery vibe, I enjoyed watching this. It is relaxation. If you don't want horror movies that give you trauma, you should watch this one. It's easy to watch. It stays mysterious, keeps a dark vibe. Pretty interesting. So thank you all for watching. Wish you a nice day. And bye-bye for now. Giving this movie 6 out of 10. As a dark mystery thriller with slight horror vibes. So thank you for watching.